Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer podcast. Again, I do this every day. Today, we're going to talk about the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert that happened in London at Wembley. And first of all, let's just pray for his family and friends. Uh, and not cool. Lose somebody young. Um, so, yeah, they had a Taylor Hawkins tribute concert. I'm honestly not really a fan of Foo Fighters. That first album, there's a few songs on it that were, I'm not a fan of Nirvana, but shit. At least they're a rock and roll band. They're playing their instrument. And quite honestly, I used to date one of their exes, so I just kind of. So yeah, the tribute concert. Taylor, do we even know how he died? Like he was found in, was there in Brazil or Argentina somewhere, like a hotel room? They're on tour. That's kind of a rock and roll way to go, though. Yeah, right for the gig, I'm partying in my hotel. Maybe he went and party. I don't know. We're trying to make fun. Again, pray for his family and friends, his soul. You don't want anybody dead. He was a great drummer. So yeah, they did this tribute concert long. I mean, it was like 6 hours. I've watched. I fast forward through a lot of it. It was 6 hours. And one thing that okay, I know it's a tribute concert, but we don't need all the introductions and the shit. Just let the music do the talking. We don't need Dave Grohl out there, his mule tooth. Again, they could be the best band in the world. I mean, again, I'm busting balls here. Okay, it's not like. But they just don't have any grit on them, man. They're just like the most milquetoast frat boy. I don't know. Are the dudes from Sunny Day Real Estate still in Foo Fighters? Because I like Sunny Day Real Estate. I didn't know who they were. This is back in the day, like early 90s, maybe. I was living in Champaign. I was in a band, and me and my girlfriend and some friends, we were at the Blind Pig for like happy hour. And the Blind Pig at the time was like a cool place. My band played, everybody played there. And they were kicking everybody out because they were about to start doing sound check. And then Ward, the guy who kind of like booked the gigs and was I don't know if he managed it. Anyway, he goes, "Hey, you guys can stay. They're about, you want to watch this. There's this band Saturday Real Estate. You're going to like them. They're going to sound check." So he let us stay, which he did us a solid. And thanks to Ward booked some of my first shows when I was younger. Thank you, Ward. So we were drinking our beers and man, Sunny Day Real Estate. I was like, oh my God, like they were awesome. And I think a couple of those dudes are in Foo Fighters now. I think. Anyway, we didn't even go to the Sunny Day Real Estate concert that night. And I think they gave me like a CD and a T-shirt. They were cool. I'm pretty sure that when something happened, we had other plans. But we saw the sound check. I mean, shit. So yeah, tribute concert. Everybody was on it. I mean, everybody. It was 6 hours long. Taylor must have knew a lot of cool people. I guess he did. So the highlight for me was Wolfgang Van Halen, bro. That Wolfgang is like, shit. They did some Van Halen songs. I mean, damn, he's awesome. He is. And I know people are like, "Oh, he's a nepotist." Yeah, if I was Eddie Van Halen, bro. You think it would be, oh yeah, you're his son. It's harder when you're. I mean, he drive you crazy. He has to prove himself to everybody to this day. You have to be better than everybody else. And sure, he had a few, but you try to play those licks, and he nailed them, man. He nailed it. I like Wolfgang. I mean, shit. Got a smile on his face. He's just ripping. To me, he sounded just like Eddie. He was just like, what the? And I'm a big Van Halen fan. I lived in Pasadena for 6 years, basically the home of Van Halen, Pasadena, California. And I've had friends that, like, my old tenant I rented a room to was The only time you ever saw Van Halen was at backyard parties, like in Pasadena. And I know Terry Kilgore, who was in a band with David Lee Roth before Van Halen, and then he was in Dave's solo band in the '90s. And he's cool. I used to sell a lot of guitars and gear and stuff, and I would sell him something. He would sell me something. I didn't really know who he was, and then we kind of got friendly. And then, oh yeah, he invited me to his house. He sold me a Gibson Atlas. It's this big combo amp. It's supposed to be for bass, but he converted it to a guitar amp. Took out that 15-inch speaker, two 12-inch selections, added like a gain knob on monster. Had like KT88s, these big tubes. I got rid of it because I couldn't. It would melt your face off. And I wasn't gigging at the time. Man, I wish I would have held on to that. So yeah, I know a little bit of the Van Halen. I've ran into David Lee Roth in Pasadena a few times, just here and there. And so I'm a Van Halen. I love Van Halen. That was the music of my teenage, and Wolfgang, bam, take the hat up. Wolfgang was, I think, stole the show. In my humble opinion, I think that he, again, I fast forwarded through a lot. I just wanted to see, what I might do is get a list of who played and what times, signatures. I can list, I don't got 6 hours, man. Just sit and watch. Maybe I'll do it in parts. But yeah, Wolfgang Van Halen stole the show, in my humble opinion. He did say he does on it, nailed it. And he's doing it right too. Like he's not I hope he does good. I hope he Wolfie. And the other person that kind of was Brian Johnson of AC/DC. Dude, that guy. How old is he? He can still get out there and with that hat, this awesome. I mean, I didn't get any better than Brian Johnson, man. He, to me, he's like the ultimate lead singer. AC/DC is like the ultimate rock band too. I love AC/DC. I did this this rock and roll. And there's been like different. I love Bon Scott era. I love Brian Johnson era. I love the simplicity of AC/DC. I love that they don't have any like fills in their songs. It's just boom. And Phil Rudd, the drummer, amazing. In the pocket. And I think Lars was playing drums. Wasn't Lars playing drums with Phil? I mean, Brian. But yeah, it's a good thing. Celebrating the life of a fallen, bandmate. Again, it's not like I dislike. I just don't have. I only bought that first album, and like I said, I dated one of their exes, so it kind of like, I wouldn't be. But hey, good for them. At least they're a live band. At least everybody's playing live. I don't think there was any click tracks or, that's important nowadays. And I think they're going around with this. There's going to be one in LA. And they did it at Wembley. I mean, damn. That's a big, people want to see it. People are fans of Taylor Hawkins. Or Hawkins, I should say. And when he was, he had a cover band. I should have went and saw him. I was wondering, they were playing like deep in the valley. I lived in like Arcadia, Pasadena. I'm in the San Gabriel Valley, which is kind of up in the mountain. It's still LA, but then the San Fernando Valley is like the flatter long. They were playing like Reseda or somewhere. Like that's like an hour and a half drive, 3 hours at the traffic. So, and he was in Chevy Metal. That was called. I wanted to go see him playing a club. Oh, man, that'd be awesome seeing that. I love cheesy metal too. Never got around to it. Regrets. Yeah, and I feel for Taylor. They toured a lot, and you're being offered again. I don't know what happened, But just in my humble experience, you get offered a lot of things. There's a lot of people around. There's this and that. You're not sleeping well. You're living off Pedialyte. I mean, shit. Have they released what happened to him? Was it a heart attack? Was it? Uh, and he seemed to be like everybody. I didn't know him personally. An old bandmate of mine knew him or met him or hung out or something like that. He's cool. He's a great drummer. And again, Foo Fighters are a good band. Don't think that I'm not. They're awesome. They're a great band. And that first album I liked, but I liked the songs that weren't like popular. Like what's that song like? Oh George or something. Like I liked it, like the obscure kind of B-side shit they did. And you know, Dave Grohl's a Hefe. Hell, he's good. He can do it all. Pat Smear, a legend. Germs, Nirvana, Foo Fighters. That's a good resume. Even if I'm not really Germs, I love the Germs. And Nirvana are okay. I mean, at the time, this is the thing about me I like Nirvana. I was in a band when they broke up. So it was like, not that I was jealous, but it's like when you're in that same, not scene, but we're about the same age. And I like that, the Nevermind album, you know, it was, hey, whatever, you know, something different. But live, you know, they're hit and miss. Every band is. But this is one thing about Nirvana. Yeah, they're a good band, but quit trying to make them out to be like, you know, oh, the whole, no. They were like a good band. They weren't like, you know, now they're trying to make him out to be, come on, man. And also, I didn't like how they badmouth other bands. You know, when they first came out, like 91, 92, they were going after Journey and any kind of corporate rock. And I was like, dude, shut up. Like, who cares? Of course, there's always a changing of the guard, you know. Back then, there used to be scenes like every 4 or 5 years, there'd be a new thing. Now everything's just the same. You know, they put their eggs in one basket, man, for the last 20, 25 years. The music industry, I should say. In the music industry, like now, like it's ran by accountants. Like there aren't any like, it's just, and they had a chance to be like, they were approached by these tech companies. Like, look, in the future, people are going to be downloading. You're not going to be able to sell like physical stuff. So what we'll do is we'll come into a co-op, a deal. You and I, and they're like, oh, you dumbasses, that'll never happen. Get out of here. Well, it did happen. It is happening. They had a chance. The music industry, I'm saying, they could have. Nope. We're going to still just steal from bands and produce a lot of plastic. Shit, vinyl. I don't even know. But we're moving on. So the Taylor Hawkins tribute, I think it's a good thing. I think that the people will. Again, you want to celebrate the guy's life. He's influenced a lot of drummers. Again, he was a great drummer. Foo Fighters are a great band. They're live. What you're hearing, I don't think there are any like backing tracks or any of that shit. And I wouldn't want to follow Foo Fighters. I wouldn't want to have to like, oh, by the way, you can go on after the Foo Fighters. No, because honestly, I'd be exposed. Because I'm not that age. My solo band, maybe Love Engineer back in the day when I was, but and I haven't played in 10 years. I kind of retired. But my solo stuff is like garage rock. I'm just gonna be honest. I was singing, playing guitar, bass player, and a drummer. That's it. I was just, there's only so much you can do with that. And we were just 3-chord rock and roll. We weren't. All my albums are out of print. Nobody even knows what the shit. But just to keep rock and roll alive, they are a rock band. They got Pat Smear. I mean, shit. That's. At least they're flying the rock and roll flag. They're like a real band. That to me is important. And to see all these people come together to celebrate Taylor. Again, I didn't know the guy. I've never met any of the Foo Fighters. And I pray for his family and friends. It's shit. it is pretty rock and roll to die in a hotel, a nice hotel in Argentina, Brazil, where he died. I mean, he went out like a rocker. Are they going to release what happened to him? What was it? A stroke, heart attack? They said he had like heart problems. Maybe so. I got it too. I'm going to pray. And I'm going to go through and watch the rest. I fast forward. I didn't even fast forward. I just skipped. So I don't even know what I did. It was 6 hours. Come on, man. Who's got 6 hours? And there were UFC fights. So I watched the UFC fight. Okay, yeah. So who watched this thing? What was your, who did you think? Again, I think Wolfgang Van Halen, pardon me, stole the show without even trying. He wasn't like peacocking around, and he's just right on nailed that tone. He's playing some kind of hollow body, but fucking shit. That thing should have been squalling like, you have to stuff it with foam. How do you know? There's those hollow, maybe it's a semi-hollow body. Maybe they got like a thing of maple underneath the top. Awesome. Just those licks. It's just see how he enjoyed it in his face. Genuine. I can read through bullshit, and I'd be the first one to point the finger if he was doing some nepotism, dumbass shit. He isn't. Leave him alone. All these people. He's probably. Can you imagine what they're going after him? Again, when you're in that situation, you got to prove yourself. Like, yeah, he's had a few more opportunities because who he is. But on the other end of that is you're under the microscope. You are being nitpicked, and that everybody, they're expecting you to do that, and he wants to do his own thing. That's tough. And he just lost his father. Son of a bitch, heartless people. He lost Eddie Van Halen, the king of. He invented the genre. He changed the game. So yeah, being his kid would be tough. Would be rough. I don't care how rich they were or whatever. It is not easy. Matter of fact, I think it would be harder because you're dealing with all this stuff. Again, you think like, oh yeah, he's a rich kid. Yeah, no. You're dealing with again, can you have the standards of Eddie Van Halen? You're playing. Could you imagine? Shit, you'd give up. I'm going to be a farmer in Oregon and grow organic, whatever. You would do something else. That he is going, and again, he didn't seem bitter. I didn't see like a bitter look on his face. He looked like he was genuinely enjoying it. Celebration of his father's music. So I think, Wolfgang Van Halen, Wolfie, stole the show. And the second, what was Brian Johnson, who I just love. Brian Johnson. I love that how he's walking. I love that. I love AC/DC. I just love his. Again, you can see in his face, it's genuine, and he sounded good. He's got that gritty voice. You think again, how old is he? He's got to be 70. He can still do that. That is amazing. Some people are. That's just who they are. Would he be like 90 and still? Come on, I hope so. I hope so. And are they going to mix it up? Are they going to, when they do I think they're going to do another tribute in LA. Are they going to have more? It's just going to be the same show. Are they going to have different, people couldn't get over to London, flying over to London and all that, the price of airline tickets. I mean, and what are they doing with the money? Are they giving it to the family? Are they going to, I don't know. But I think it's a good thing. Again, I don't mean to rant about Foo Fighters. They're a great band. That first album I bought, and I like some of those obscure songs. I didn't like the ones that were on the radio. And it's not even, I'm not trying to be contrary or anything like that. It's just that the ones that I liked, that's what and then the next, when I heard the other, I just didn't get into all, Oh, you know what I want to see, which I was them Crooked Vultures reunited for the that night. It's Josh and Dave and John from Led Zeppelin. Um, they had like a side project. I'm gonna watch that. I like Queens of the Stone Age. I like early Queens of the Stone Age. I like Caius. Um, uh, Caius, shit. And those first two Queens of the Stone Age albums are really good. But Caius, I mean, to me, uh, Caius is held up. I think it's better now than it. That's just now everybody sounds like that. Welcome to Sun Valley. Is that what it is? Is that the album that? My old band, we were supposed to do some shows with Caius. This is back in like 92, maybe 93, maybe 91. I don't even remember. Back in the day. And I didn't know who they were. Somehow they gave us, we had their CD. I think it was Welcome to Sun Valley or Awesome. Just the tone and just the droney. I'm into, again, I like to dip my beak in a little bit of everything about music. If you haven't heard of Caius, of course you have. But if you haven't, check out some Caius. Check out Queens of the Stone Age. Of course, you know who they are. But that first album, those first two, great. That Rated R album, I think that's their second one, the blue and white one, awesome. So I'm going to go back and watch some of the other. Maybe there's a list I can find of who performed. I'll skip over somebody's. But overall, in my humble opinion, I think it's a good thing. I feel for the band, man. Pray for the band. Pray for Taylor Hawkins' family and friends. That's not a cool, a death of a road dog. How long he been in Foo Fighters? Like over 20 years. Cool guy. I haven't heard anybody say anything about everybody. Taylor, he was awesome. So life sucks sometimes. There's deaths you got to deal with. And Dave Grohl, I got to give it to man. He's dealt with a lot of people dying on it. He's held up pretty well considering that you got Kurt Cobain and then his drummer. I mean, that's sad. Pray for Dave Grohl. And he's a good guy. I mean, I know I love to bust people's balls. So I hate Foo Fighters or Dave Grohl. But I love, just busting ball. Yeah, that's what bands do. I don't know if you know this or not, but like when you're at sound check and the roadies are running all that, you're busting major balls. You are not, you're just making fun of everything and everybody. It's the funnest thing. Sometimes sound checks are funner than the gig. Some of these roadies are hilarious. I mean, they're funnier than comedians. So you just kind of pick people apart. It's like it's all in good taste too. And I guarantee if they saw this shitty podcast I'm doing, they say the same thing. Like, yeah, you just bust ball. You ain't do that. It's nothing. That's what guys do. That's what rock and roll people do. You don't think Lemmy was bust your butt? Come on. It's not. I mean, can you imagine a sound check? That sound check with all those people. Did they do a sound check? When the concert was 6 hours, sound check must have been for, just hooking up all that stuff. Come on. Did everybody use the same drum set? Because that's just, hey, we just need one, yeah, they did it right. I could have did without with all the speeches and all the other thing, of course. It's like you don't have to say anything. Just go out there and let the music do the talking. Just people are going to know. Yeah, you got to introduce people, but just let them come out. Like Brian Johnson doesn't really need to be. I'm saying like people would know. I mean, even Wolfie Van Halen, people are going to know who he is. I have a feeling that he's going to be a thing. He might already is, but he's going to. He hadn't hit his peak yet. I was really impressed with him, not only with his playing because they sounded great. And has he ever even played with those people before? That's another thing. It didn't like it's his band. He just went out there like, yeah, plug me in and just shit. Smoked everybody, in my opinion. Wolfie did. Just showed him how it was done. And he's playing Van Halen, which isn't like easy as you think. Of course not. It's Eddie Van Halen licks. Shit, he was amazing. I like that dude. I like Wolfie. He's had to deal with some trauma too. Come on. He's got to be a tough son of a bitch to put up with what he's done growing up. Because again, people are just nitpicking everything he does. Like, leave me alone. Let me live. Let me progress naturally by myself. Now no. You can imagine, like, just everything from management to accountants to everybody. It's just he needs a little leave alone. So let him do his thing. And again, I don't think that he. I heard some of the album that he released. It was good, but I think he's got something in him. He's gonna blossom. And I'm looking forward to that, man. I think that there's good things, and of course there are. Because look at him, he's shit. People are going, duh. But I've been seeing a lot of people ranting and raving about him and this tribute and all that. Like, no, granted, I busted a few balls, but all in fun, Again, if you could be at a sound check and be around, but that's all they do. Stealing your lighters and cigarettes and put, the practical jokes. And that's what rock and roll people do. And I'm sure other band, soul band, everybody, you got to do something. You're bored. You're there. Shit. So it's all in good fun. I'm looking forward to later on today. I'm going to go through and watch more of it. I'm going to find a list of who performed, I want to watch them Crooked Vultures. I want to see other bands who played. And just the stage manager or stage managers to coordinate all those people. How big was the backstage? How much booze was on the rider? Food. You got how many porta potties and shit. Did everybody stay in the same motel? That'd have been fun. The bar at the motel they all stayed at. I'm sure. Could they even fit all those people in? I'm talking about the people that perform. Did they get over there on their own dime? I mean, how do you coordinate something like that? I mean, I'm sure there's people, oh yeah, there's a team of us and we got it. But impressive just to pull that off. And what it went off without it was bam, we go, let's do it. It was, again, I could have did without all the chitter chatter in between. Again, I'm more about let the music do the talking. Let's do this. Let's smoke that, But yeah, I'll look this. I'll watch the rest of it. But I do this every day. I rant like a madman. And I'll be here tomorrow. Not necessarily talking about the Foo Fighters or whatever, but hey. So I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.